And you don't stop. Yes, yes, y'all. You know what time it is. I was going to say it's time for your talk from the park, but that's not right. It's the dailybreadproject.com bringing you your daily dose of light. I have a guest scheduled for today. We'll bring this thing live to Facebook in just a minute. See, my guest is here. So, guest, before I announce you, I'm going to bring you live or bring you in as a panelist and then bring this thing live to Facebook to do a proper intro. Let's make sure that I get you in here so you're ready to rock. And I'll keep my fingers crossed and you keep your fingers crossed that we can go live to Facebook and bring the light on the dailybreadproject.com. We always want the technology gods to cooperate with us. We must make a sacrifice to the technology gods. I offer you my firstborn, just work. Cool. So it looks like it's connecting. It may or may not work. If it doesn't, it's cool. We can still record this thing and then put it up. But it's nice to get it live to Facebook. So we'll give it a couple shots. Yeah. Well, that looks like it might actually be working. Now I owe this thing my firstborn. Too late for that. All right, so here we are. Looks like we're going live to Facebook. Everything is rocking. My guest is here. And I'm going to go into the intro and yeah, everything's live. So you are listening to the dailybreadproject.com. The world is crazy, chaotic, uncertain. People are social distancing, wearing masks, afraid out of their minds. And me and my guest here on the dailybreadproject.com are here to bring you the light. And that's an acronym, light, leadership in good and hard times. Anybody can be a leader and show you their awesome Lamborghini on Instagram when stuff is going well. But when the ish hits the fan, who is left? You're witnessing who is left. Us. Everybody here on the dailybreadproject.com. I cannot do this by myself. Today, I have enlisted the help of another DM brother, Mr. Terry Thayer. What is up, my man?
What's up, man? How are you doing? What a great intro. What a great intro. What a great start. I love it. Very creative.
Love it, man. Love it. So let me give you the lay of the land, and then we can jump into it. And so what we like to talk about here is power, positivity, leadership, love, and opportunity. And so I want to jump right into this because I've listened to plenty of your interviews. You've been all over podcasts. I've seen your work. And so I'm stoked to bring you to the Daily Bread Project. And I want to start right here, Terry. Where do you draw your power from?
Where do I draw my power from? Never been asked that question before. Um, Meaning, are you talking about more like my drive? When you say power, is that what you're saying? Where does that come from?
What makes you feel powerful, brother? Some people it's family, some people it's money. Most people here it's purpose. So it's like what gets you out of your bed in the morning and ready to tackle the world and create that freedom you talk so much about?
It's honestly like it's my passion projects, right? It's the knowing that I can help somebody and change their life. And honestly, a lot of it has to do with an example for my kids, like showing my kids that this is the path and showing them. I mean, if I was a lazy SOB and sat on a damn couch all day long watching TV, I mean, what example is that giving them? But like I was having a conversation with my daughter this morning. I'm like, look, babe, the way you're doing things, it's like, look, we only get I tell you this all the time. What's the one thing you can never get more of? And she's like, time. I said, okay, then why are you wasting it? Why are you spending 45 minutes in the shower? Why are you like, we need to figure out how to become more efficient. So it's like, I'm trying to show them duplication now at 16 years old, because then when they start getting to the point, that becomes habit. Like, how are we doing this? How do we create duplication? How do we create multiplication to do more things so that we can, and I tell her, I have it written right here. Like, we all have the same 24 hours in a day. What are you going to do with yours? And I use the example to her, like Donald Trump's a billionaire. Then you have people that are struggling, looking to get a job or working minimum wage. We all have the same 24 hours. It's what we do with
Starting them young, eh? Multiplication and
it.
duplicate. Tell me a little bit about that, because that's one of your specialties, actually, is this idea of multiplication and duplication. So how do you teach that to the kids?
So I just try to show them how, where they're being inefficient and where what they could be doing with their time. So in this example, literally this morning with my daughter, she's let's see, I woke her up at 7 o'clock and we started having this conversation at 8:15. I'm like, Kylie, we're an hour and 15 minutes into the day and you still haven't even left the bathroom. I'm like, think about how, if you did, like, you sat in the bed for 30 minutes after I woke you up, like, jump out of bed. I was like, look at how you could have spent 30, 45 minutes before we even got into breakfast, like reading, studying something, whatever, just maybe just kind of unwinding and making a piece of your day because she likes to read all these, what I call foo-foo books, like I don't read any kind of book unless it's teaching me something. I'm like, even that, like, give something to your soul during this time instead of just sitting around wasting time looking at a mirror.
Oh, ouch. How'd she take that?
She was like, "You're right. You're absolutely right."
Really?
And yeah. This is not. If it was the first time, I can imagine it would be a completely different response. But this is something we've been working on for a long time. I'm like, I want to show them how to do more with their time so that they can accomplish more things. Like, she's actually doing a training on how to become a digital marketer along with school. So this is something that she wants to learn. So she's working with Anthony Morrison on his Partner with Anthony, learning the basics.
Wow. You really are starting them early. I love that, man. And so let's move on to positivity. And so clearly you're an evolved person. You protect your mind, and anybody who protects their mind protects what goes in there and is intentional. So how do you stay positive? How do you feed your mind? How do you nourish yourself? How do you stay positive and protect yourself from all the craziness and negativity in the world?
Yeah, I try to ignore it and keep myself away from media. Number one, because that's the one thing I just feel like it just breaks me down if I were to get engulfed with that, if I listen to it. But number one, it's just what the alternative is, right? What's the opposite of positive? Just negative, right? And I know that never ever ever gets me anywhere. And I know that's poison. So every time I try to sense myself going that direction, I try to lift back up and find the positive out of it. Or like daily gratitude. I have something on my wall right here that I'm looking at. It's like there's so many ridiculous examples on this. It's like, anyways, it's something that I try to find the best out of everything. Like, why did this happen? Well, okay, everything happens for a reason. Let's dig into this deeper. Like, because this happened, I was able to do this, or it made me recognize this, or I learned this from that. So positivity is just, what are we going to spend all this time whining and bitching about what happened? Like, that's a waste of time. I'm trying to create duplication. Like, how can we be better and make up that time?
All right, wait a second now. I don't know everybody who's listening here, but I do know that most of the world spends their time in that why did it happen to me? Why me? Victim mentality. So, number one, were you always like this? And number two, can you give us a concrete example of how you make that conscious choice? Like, this happened and I made this choice, so that people understand that no matter how bad, essentially you're saying turning obstacles into opportunities. So, a concrete
Yeah.
example of that.
Um, so no, I was not always like that. This is something that in my journey, really my journey to positivity and trying to create a better life for myself. I mean, I've been an entrepreneur since I can walk pretty much, and I've been in business for myself since 2000. So I've been through all that, but I did everything wrong all the way up until I started creating it was probably about 2012, 13, 14, somewhere around there, where I started recognizing, I started realizing that people hire coaches to not make mistakes, like all these things, and masterminds like the one that we're in, and then an example, it's always, let's see, an example, a recent example, I guess would just be of all of this right here, right? So the corona, this virus, COVID, everything that's going on in the world right now, it's crippled. I've multiple businesses. One of my businesses are pretty much just on halt. It's not really moving. I mean, it is, but it isn't. It's not doing what it should be doing, put it that way. But it's allowed, I can bitch and complain and whatever, sulk and not get anything done. But I found this to be a good opportunity to take my hiring course and really dive deep into how we can take and multiply this and get this out to the world and make this a better program. So it's opened up another opportunity for me. And then that opportunity has just brought multiple other opportunities on top of it.
Opportunity begets opportunity. This guy's talking about abundance here, ladies and gentlemen. If you don't believe in it, what is it, 12, 13, 14 businesses? How many do you have?
I think I'm down to 11.
11.
We closed and combined it. So
Okay.
One was a partnership. I got out of a partnership, and yeah, I think we're down to 11 LLCs right now.
Listen to this guy, man, making me feel like a slacker with my lowly 3. I got to get your hiring course. That must be the secret, is like multiplying by adding people.
That's right. That's right. That's
All right,
right.
let's talk
There's
about this.
Only 5 of them are active, and then the other one, active income. The other ones are more passive play type of things.
Got it. So yeah, you mentioned that the world's a little bit different. Things are not as they used to be. And so I want to talk about leadership, and I want to know how your leadership, both with your team, has changed and your leadership at home. Tell me a little bit about both sides of that.
Yeah. So with my team, I don't know that it has really changed, other than I always just try to show influence or facts that, one of my mentors always said, documentation beats conversation, right? So if you could show somebody this is why something is, it's hard to deny it or hard to not believe it, right? So I just try to show whatever I can see, whatever I believe, whatever facts I can see, why things are happening, right? So I mean, I don't know that a whole lot really changed with my team, or because I didn't let this affect me, right? I didn't let this really, I mean, we just, if anything, I'm saying, hey guys, we're not gonna be like everybody else out there. We're gonna take this opportunity for all the people that are sulking, all the people that are down, we're gonna take the opportunity to get more properties, to increase sales, whatever whenever there's a problem, there's an opportunity. So you just got to find it.
What about at home with the family, homeschooling, the whole 9 yards? How does that look different, or does it?
So the funny thing is, we've been homeschooling.
Nothing looks
The
different to
only
you.
thing that's, yeah, not much has changed. Like we made this shift 2 years ago with my daughter, last year with my son, and the only thing that's changed is their extracurricular activities, right? They're not going to music. They're not going to art. My daughter does Muay Thai. My son does golf and tennis. Like they're not doing that stuff, but we're just making sure that we're keeping them equally as busy during this time. And they know and understand. Like they're not, getting down and out about it. It's like for them, it's nothing. They're gonna keep going. Their friends like, oh, can we have a sleepover? And it'll be on a Wednesday. They're like, no, I got school. Like this is what I do. Just because you're out, this is what I do.
So let me hear a little bit more about that. You said that you made that move a couple years ago, so you're ahead of the trend. So What caused you to make that move?
Identifying the toxicity in these schools. I don't care. Like, we literally live where we live because of the school district. It's one of the best school districts around in my area, right? And there's just so much toxicity in these schools. And it's
What do you
like the
mean
better
by
school
that?
you
What do you mean
just
toxicity?
negativity. And honestly, like, you put 35 kids in one classroom, how is one teacher gonna take care of that? Right? Number one, the way these kids are, like, these kids are just, my
Little
kids
a-holes.
are learning digital. They're learning digital marketing, and my son learning how to start a YouTube channel, right? And these kids are talking about drugs and going to hanging out and sex and all this other stuff, right? So I want to remove them from the negativity. Just like I don't watch the news, I don't listen to the news, because it's just like, even though I don't believe it, I'm not going to fall into it. It'll put my mind in a different way, a negative way, and I don't want to feel that way. So just removing them from that crap has been huge. At first, my daughter is actually the one who made the decision. We've been wanting to make this shift for a while. So partway through her freshman year, she made the decision because of all the noise that was going on. She's like, I can't take it. So we decided, okay, let's do this. And she had a hard time transitioning, but now she is a completely different person. I mean, she went from low self-esteem, just moping, not doing, like, she does everything. She's a completely different person today than from what she was. My son, he had been wanting to be homeschooled for a while. We didn't transition him in the middle of the year. We waited till he finished that year out and we started him out fresh. We spent some time with my system hiring actual certified teacher that comes in every single day and not only teaches our kids, but she does other things too. She takes them on extra, it's a full-time position for her. She takes them on all their extracurricular activities. She sometimes cooks for us. She sometimes, if she's caught up on everything, she'll come into the office and do some miscellaneous work for us. So she's awesome. Awesome. She's our unicorn.
Nice. I'm like, that sounds good. And we actually made the choice. My son is going to kindergarten this coming year, and we made the choice to do a more progressive program like that. So we're starting him from the beginning, because that's
Awesome.
exactly it. It's like, who do you want your kid to spend more time with? Strangers and other kids with baggage out there, or with you who actually cares about him? And so to me, it was a no-brainer. It's like, I care more about this kid than anybody else in the world. So who should he be with? Is us. And so I love that. And I love that it's becoming a trend now. And I think that it's going to make for some better adjusted kids and some better entrepreneurs. Like, these kids are going to crush us.
Yeah. That's what I'm hoping for.
Right.
I'm
Right.
hoping before I retire, my kids are making six figures,
Yeah.
and they're not even 20.
I love it, man. So, speaking of love, this is a part where I ask you, what opportunities do you love right now? What are you seeing out there that you absolutely love and it's got your attention?
Meaning investments, or what are you referring to?
Anything.
So I think for me, the biggest thing, the opportunity out there is that for me, my hiring course, my passion project for me is getting this out there, because there's so many, with all the people that have been laid off, there's so much good talent out there that I want people to be able to start taking advantage of that. So that there's a huge opportunity with that. I mean, I think I've hired what, 4 people in the last 45 days from this whole thing. And I mean, we're getting some really good people that I may not have otherwise gotten prior to this, because they were in a position that opportunity wasn't there, right? So it's opened up a lot more opportunities.
Love it, man. Any other stuff on the personal front, or anywhere else?
Um, I wouldn't. I mean, we're just kind of certain things like investments right now. And this may not be a good thing, but investments right now, like, right, I see. Well, I just put a bunch of money into Bitcoin because I'm hearing a trend about an opportunity that's coming up in the next 30, 60, 90 days. I've spent some time in there. But as far as real estate, we're actually trying to release some debt right now. We have a ton of debt, and we're trying to make some shifts right there. So no other big things right there. We're just kind of waiting out some things, and other things we have our foot fully on the pedal.
Yeah. You were already living this lifestyle before it happened, is why. You're like, this is
Yeah.
business as usual. So here's the big one. I want you to think about this for a second. 5 years from now, we're in the future, living whatever the future normal is. And we think back to this time. How do you want to be remembered, Terry?
I want to be remembered for the person who helped a lot of people shift their mindset and put their foot on the gas pedal versus sitting back and just relaxing or freaking out or destroying their mind. One of the people that I coached last Thursday on a call. He's like, "How you doing?" I said, "Amazing," and he was like, just mind blown. Like I could just see it like eating his face up, and he was like, he took a minute and he said, "What do you mean? How can you be amazing during this time?" Like, what do you mean? Well, I'm not, those are distractions. Those are noise. I'm not letting that affect my life. That's create opportunities. So by the end of that call, like this person was on fire. Like, yeah, you're right. Let's go. Let's go. So I've had a lot of those conversations with people trying to get them to shift their mindset. And
Love it, man.
honestly, everybody on my team, I feel like everybody on my team, like I'll go out and talk to people and you just hear just like, oh, this, like all this distraction that's going on. I guarantee that everybody on my team, they're just like, what's changed? Nothing's going on. Like as if nothing's going on. Yeah, we can't go get a haircut. Yeah, we can't go get pedicures, but whatever. Let's keep going. Let's figure it out.
Yeah, man. That's what I like, man. I love it. All right, Terry, where can people find out more about you, about your hiring system? Where can people dig up more information on you?
Yeah, so social media, Facebook, Instagram, terrythayerii.com, TerryThayerii.com, or sorry, at Terry Thayer II or terrythayerii.com as well
Got
has
it.
hosts all of my stuff.
Hi, brother. Well, thank you for bringing the light, leadership in good and hard times. Nothing has changed for Terry Thayer. He's reduced a business or two and employed more people on his team. I love all of that, man. Thank you for bringing the light. Thank you guys for tuning in to thedailybreadproject.com. If Terry has helped you, let him know. I've shared the link. Drop the guy a like, share the episode. There was a lot of goodness here for you on staying positive. Thank you.